Ooh, cracked. Hello book besties, welcome back to my channel. I'm Emasu, a book lover that's always on the bench. In this week's video, we are doing a reading wrap up for the month of October. I can't believe October went by so fast, but now here we are in November and it's time to look back on the books that I've read. I read a total of 12 books with a mix of physical copies, audiobooks, and on the Kindle. I'm going to tell you the rating that I gave these books as well as what I thought about them. First and foremost, we started the month off with a very strong read. It's actually a book that came out right at the end of September, and it is a book release that I was highly anticipating this year, and I'm so happy to have a copy in my hands. And that book is Alchemized by Sen-Lin Yu. This is a dark fantasy book set in a war-torn world with alchemy and necromancy at the root of it. This is no way, shape, or form a romantasy book. The love in this is very tragic and is weaved in there and has been brought up due to the events of war and the consequences during post-war. This is the best book that has come out this year and the best book that I've read, period. This is an infinite star book. It broke the 5-star rating scale for me, and it is a god tier standalone dark fantasy book. The amount of tabs that I've used for this book alone is incredible. Every word, every sentence, every paragraph, every moment is of so much importance to the story. Sen-Lin Yu's writing, her world building is just so masterfully well done and well crafted that you will definitely find yourself getting lost and be fully invested in these characters. Now, this book is definitely a heavy read. As you can tell, she is very thick, over 1,000 pages long, and the intricacy of the magic system can be quite difficult to read, but I found myself getting the hang of it after about 50 or so pages. But I think that's just because I'm very into alchemy and necromancy and all that. So I fully enjoyed this book. If you want a book that is gonna give you emotional damage and is heavy on the magic system, in war, in dark fantasy aspect of it all, then you need to pick up Sen-Lin Yu's Alchemized. The next book that I read in the month of October follows a dark gothic fantasy theme, and that is Fairytale by Veronica Lancet. This is the very definition of dark gothic romance. I gave this book 4 stars. This is a loaded gothic romance that is filled with so many twists. I, however, thought that it didn't need to be this thick of a book. This is about 750 or so pages. I do feel like it didn't need to be that long to get to where we are at the end of this. I felt like there were multiple instances of filler moments that didn't really add up to the story. However, the love story in this is so beautiful. You have soulmates finding each other in every lifetime and only existing for the other. It is unimaginably heartwarming, but also very painfully intense of a love. Oh, and the spice in this, hot, very hot. Now, I don't think this book is for everyone, but if it finds the right audience, I feel like that reader will definitely fall heads over heels for the characters in this. The love is truly epic in this one. Next, continuing on the dark kind of books theme, I read the first 2 books in the Devil's Backbone series, which is Dear Reader and then Watch Your Back. This is a trilogy actually, and it is a dark reverse harem waichus romance involving 1 female main character and 4 male main characters. This does have a bit of a forbidden love as well, seeing as how one of the male main characters is actually your female main character's stepbrother, but there is a very good hate to love type of relationships that is very slow burn, and you will find yourself loving their dynamic more as you read. I believe I gave both of these 4 stars. I had such a good time listening to the audiobook of these. The voice actors did such incredible work, with one of them being Corvin King, who is one of my all-time favorite male voice actors. This has a murder mystery plot, secret societies, very eerie diary entries that our female main character reads from, and very extreme cliffhangers. This is one of the most entertaining and the most nerve-wracking murder mystery plots that I've ever read, and I can't wait to start the 3rd book this month. I'm gonna read you guys the first sentence, and I can guarantee you that you will immediately want to pick it up. It says, Dear reader, if you found this diary, then I must be dead. Period. Let me continue a little more if you're not convinced yet. That's the only way I'd have let anyone find this account of what's been happening to me, what they've put me through, what they're still putting me through. If you're reading this, then I'm dead, and the Devil's Backbone Society is responsible. You, whoever you are, will probably be next. Tell me you don't want to read it. Next, I don't actually have a physical copy of this book in particular, but I read it on the Kindle. It is called Lucy Undying. This is a Dracula reimagining. This book follows our female main character Iris and Lucy. Lucy is one of Dracula's brides. We follow her story throughout centuries, and we find out how her story and Iris' story is connected. This is indeed a dark fantasy sapphic romance that is filled with dark sarcastic humor, which I absolutely love, and very jaw-dropping plot twists. Because we go through centuries when one of the characters, the jumping from one timeline to the next timeline and so on was a bit confusing at first, but as I read on, I kind of got the hang of the pacing of it, and once I got used to the flow of the storytelling, I was fully immersed into their story. I gave this book 4.25 stars. Now, the ending did feel a bit rushed. I wish we kind of explored more of that aspect in their story. I feel like we could use some clarity in regards to some of the plot points that was made but was kind of left off hanging, but otherwise, I had a good time with this one. If you want a book with a character that yearns with everything that they have, you need to meet Lucy. Next is another audiobook listen. I don't have a physical copy of this as well. We're kind of broke out here. But it is the 4th book in a Dance with My Demons by Steph Macca series. And it is the final book in that as well. It is called Exile, another reverse harem why choose romance. This one has one female main character with 3 very unhinged and dark and twisted male main characters that are very much borderline psychopaths, but we love them anyway. I can't really say much about this book in particular because it is the last book. I feel like I'll be spoiling a lot of things. Just know that why choose romances always mean that the woman gets all of them. So happy that she does. This series overall is filled with so much plot twists. I didn't know where the writer was going to take it next. And the cliffhangers that it leaves us with for each one was also kind of played in my heart, is all I'm saying. And in this audiobook, we also have Corbin King, but not only him, we also get Joe Arden and Anthony Palmini for the male voice actors in this. Guys, it was getting heated listening to it, and let me tell you, it makes a good car ride audiobook. Just saying. You're gonna want to read your trigger warnings for this one. And I believe I gave this book 4 stars. These next 4 books I actually did a reading vlog for, which I'll put in the top right corner for you guys. They are thriller books, and they are all by the same author, Frida McFadden. The first one we have is The Inmate. I gave this one 3 stars. This follows a nurse practitioner who ends up working at a maximum prison at her old childhood town. And in this prison, we meet one of the inmates named Shane, who we find out in the back synopsis is that he is our female main character's ex, and that she was the one that put him there. The twist in this was good, but I didn't really like the female main character. In all honesty, I could not stand her. And the reveal in the end and how they went about it kind of missed the mark for me. After The Inmate, I read The Boyfriend. This one I gave 3.5 stars. This has a plot twist that I did not see coming. This one also has a female main character POV. In this one though, we have a female main character that's in her 30s who is trying to find herself a boyfriend because, you know, why not? When she finally thinks she hits the jackpot, things start to feel too good to be true. And at the same time, there are deaths around her city, and it's all linked to this one mysterious man, and nobody can find him. And the ending of this really threw me off the wagon. I'm still mad about it because of just how it ended. Then we read Never Lie. This is my favorite Frida McFadden book so far that I've read. I gave this book 3.75 stars. This follows a married couple who ventures off to buy a mansion of a dead psychiatrist. And this dead psychiatrist had kept cassette tapes of all of her therapy sessions with her patients. And the female main character, the wife, goes through each cassette tape and finds out very horrifying things about the patients. And through all those, we find out how the psychiatrist truly died. The plot twist in this one was just everything I wanted and more. I truly did not see it coming. Frida just took it on another level in this one, and I absolutely loved it. And lastly, we read The Tenant. I gave this one 3.5 stars. I loved it, but not enough as Never Lie. This has the male main character's POV, and that is the main POV that we get throughout the book, and I'm not very happy with it. Not because he is a male. Well, kind of because he's a male, because of what he does. This man has a leering eye. All I'll say about that, because I will go off on a tangent on him. But the twist in this was very surprising as well. Did not like how they used chocolate chip cookies in this aspect, because then it kind of ruins it for me. But it's okay. It's okay. I moved on. This follows another couple. Blake is our main character and his fiance Krista. They own this house that is quite expensive. Suddenly Blake's life starts to go downhill real fast. He's about to lose the house. So what can they do to save it? They get a tenant. Things start to happen around their own house. There's this odd smell that's going around the house. Very awful smell. Strange noises that keep him awake at night. Even the neighbors are starting to treat Blake differently. And we get to experience all that with him, which was not really fun for me, but I still enjoyed this book nonetheless. All four Frida McFadden books were very enjoyable thriller reads. Next, I listened to another dark romance audiobook called Hunting the Hunter. And I didn't know that this book, like the physical copy of this book, actually doesn't come out till November. But for some reason, the audiobook is out before it. So I listened to it and I gave it 2 stars. Yeah, it was marketed as you, the reader, being the female main character in the story. So the other characters would be talking to you in the you form, but we barely get much scenes in this book. Like, we are more of a side character. We are not a main character. We really aren't. I feel like the plot was more heavily focused on the brother, which is technically our male main character counterpart, and the relationship between another female main character, which is the sister of the male main character, and the ghost that haunts her. So we really didn't get much screen time in this. The audiobook has Teddy Hamilton, which is why I was so excited to listen to it in the first place. But the plot just did not deliver. I don't even know where we were going with this story. Like, I was so excited, and as I was listening, my excitement just kept going down, and it turned into disappointment. This is a first book in a duology, and I don't think I will be picking up the second book. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Even if it's Teddy Hamilton. The story just did not have substance to it. There was spice, sure, but it was more of a physical aspect rather than a chemistry between the characters. So yeah, this one was a pass for sure. And then lastly, I listened and read, aka I did an immersive reading for, is The Bonds of Hercules. I don't have the physical copy of this book, but I did buy it on the Kindle. I'm waiting for the paperback. I am sticking to the paperback for this one. Unless there's special edition, of course, then I will buy the hardback of it, but I would need both Blood of Hercules and Bonds of Hercules for it, which I don't have the money for yet. So I bought the Kindle. That's the lesson here. Bonds of Hercules is a dark fantasy reverse harem romance. This is a Greek mythology retelling where Hercules is indeed a woman. Our female main character Alexis Hurt, who is Hercules. This is not a spoiler because it is said in the back of the book of the first book. She goes through intensive and terrifying and very deathly trials in order to become a full Spartan. And along that, she's basically being tortured by all 4 of these men in different ways. But she does have a very deadly snake with her. And I love the dynamic we have between those two and their friendship. It's so funny. This also has very dark, sarcastic humor, and that is like right up my alley. I gave this book 4.5 stars. I absolutely devoured the Cruel Shifter verse series by her in like 6 days, and there's like 6 books in that series. So her writing's just right up my alley, and I can't wait for more of her books. And I need the 3rd one for the series already. Alright everyone, these are all the books, plus a good chunk of them on the Kindle and on Audible that I've read in October. I hope you guys are able to find some new books that you're wanting to pick up for yourself, and hopefully this review has helped you with making that decision. Overall, it was such a good reading month. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next week's video. Bye!